Hi, it's Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thanks for joining me today. As you can see, it's a junk journal day, and we're going to replicate this. So this is the two journals that I'm making, and some have had bits done and some I need to do. So we're going to do this centre page here. So I'm going to make this belly band. It's just got a little double journaling card in there. So I'm using the Artymaze kit. So got this ticket strip. As you can see, it's a bit different than that. So there are different types of one in the kit, and we're going to make this little corner pocket here that's got this extra little tuck there. I might make it a little bit different because the things in it are sort of got nothing to stop it, and it kind of keeps falling. So I might make it ever so slightly different now going forward. So here we have the ticket strip. Now you could cut with a pair of scissors, or you could use a trimmer, and I do like to use a trimmer. So I like to sort of know I've got it straight, really. So yeah, so we'll just trim those ends, and then I'm going to use my little 1/2" circle punch, bring that down, to do the little ticket bits. So I've got a little 1/2" circle punch, and move that out there for the moment, and I'll just use that on these little bits. So I'm taking a little bit more than what's actually there, but I think it works. So just take those corners off like so, and that gives us our nice sort of ticket shape there. Get rid of all these bits, and then I've got a bit of sort of coffee dyed card. It's actually quite lightweight card. I've run out of coffee dyed stuff that's thicker card, but it'll do because when you layer everything on. So I'm going to cut this to 2 inches. I think that's about what I did before, so we've got sort of space either side. As you can see, I dyed this, I did it with a doily on it. So this is A4 in height, so it's 8 1/4, so it's the same height as the page itself, because these are all done on A4 strips, so that is the perfect size for there. And then what I did was I took I've got some cheesecloth here that I have tea dyed, one lighter than the other, so I'm just going to decide which colour I want behind. If I want the light one, let's have a look at it actually on the page. Do we want the light one, or do we want the dark one? I think the dark one to give it a bit of a pop myself. So move that over there. Got this little blue strip there was to kind of keep me in frame. So just gonna, might go on this bit here. So pop that on there, and then I'm just going to cut up a bit. Got me little dressmaking scissors that are much neglected and not very well looked after. When I used to sew all the time, these were my precious scissors, and I would go mad if anybody used them on anything else. And they have since been used on different things, and they've got like gunged up with glue and all sorts. So, but do for cheesecloth. So I'm just gonna pull it a bit to sort of rough the edges a bit. Don't want it to be neat and tidy, which is why I didn't mind using those scissors. There we go. So that just needs attaching on there, and I'm gonna use a glue stick initially because it's quite thin. So I'm just going to go over this with a glue stick. Should really have a sheet underneath. Going to get a sheet to go underneath because that's a really mucky sheet. I've been doing things today. There, we use the other side of that. Been having lots of fun, so when I finish this I'm going to film the things that I was making before this, which is why I've got gesso and all sorts on my hand. So bit of glue stick so that it is all over, and then it will have other glue on top, obviously, to hold that in place, which is why normally I don't stick fabric with a glue stick. Somebody I've recently started watching swears by it, and I'm kind of going with it, thinking, well, we'll see. What I've actually done is I've tested myself out. I've glued 2 bits of book page down, one with just a glue stick and one with a glue stick plus a bit of collal, and I've written on them so I know which is which, and I'm just sort of leaving them. I don't know how long I'm sort of going to use to sort of judge it, but I'm just sort of leaving it to see what happens basically. Right, so I'm going to trim that down. I'm going to leave the sides like that, but I could have left the top and the bottom like that. Might look quite nice actually. Bit of roughness poking out the top, but you know, hey ho, done it now. Keep that, that'll be quite nice for someone else. Right, and then it is just a matter of sticking that on top, and that's quite a nice little look. But of course we want to ink it first, don't we? So get a bit of, could have inked that, could probably do it now actually. Probably would have done it if I thought about it, but I think that will probably show through. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that, but Ed's downstairs watching, I think he's watching Saturday Night Live, and oh, it's just like, he laughs, so he's got a wonderful laugh and I love it, and it is what made me agree to go out with him in the first place, was the fact that he made me laugh. So there you go. I do love to hear him laugh. So there we go. So if you hear raucous laughter in the background, it's Ed watching some telly. Just finished 4 hours of teaching online. We're lecturing. First bit of live teaching they've been allowed to do, and oh, he was so excited. So up until now, it's just been recording lectures, which is quite tedious. There's a little bit of a white line there. Let's get rid. There we go. So that's that ready. So now I'm going to glue that down. with some collal, so it will add to the gluing of this, because it's quite open weaved, and it will add some strength and some robustness. Oh, that's well and truly plugged there. Get it off. There we go. So just go around the edges. So this is collal glue. If you watched me before, you know that's what I like to use in my junk journals. I also like Tombow. I tend to use Tombow a lot in my Stampin' Up. But I like collal in this because it does give a little bit of strength. So if you've got a lighter weight cardstock, which is what I've used on this, this will sort of add a bit to it. I don't like using it so much in my card making because it doesn't dry quick, whereas Tombow does. So that's that. So it is really quite a quick, simple thing. What have I just done with the bone folder? There it is. It is fairly quick and simple. And that will go on the page. Now you could do a little bit of stenciling on that page, which I think I might do actually. Let's get a little mask. Let's get a brush. I think maybe a bit of ink in behind there might actually go down quite well. So I'll do, because we're not going to see the centre, so we'll just do a bit up in that corner there. Loving that. Bit down in here. Don't go all the way to the edges because I don't want any straight bits like that. It's looking good. I'll do a bit up the top there. And just a bit down here. There we go. Quite like that. So it kind of looks like it's sort of faded in places, and I'm going to do some. So I am going to have a little bit of a pocket there. I'm going to do some up in this top section. There we go. So it gives the page a little bit of a lift that it didn't have before. The mask is a Stampin' Up mask, if you were wondering where that's from. And then we're just going to stick this on. I'm going to use Tombow for sticking this on because it's a really nice strong glue and it does dry quickly. So I am going to do a bit more than a little bead because I want it to, I think this needs a bit of refilling. I can feel it getting down there. You are getting down there. I'll probably give up now. Come on. There we are. We're coming now. So I'm going to come down about 1/4 inch, maybe. Because it's a belly band, so we're going to tuck all sorts in it. Don't need to go all the way to the end. You know, like if I was doing a pocket, I'd do a little bead. There we go. That'll be enough. Right, I'm going to take this off of there, and we're just going to put it maybe over a little bit on the end. I say, if I had have left those little straggly bits, they may have actually looked quite nice. And actually, if I can show you something that I made today. So I was making these little cards today, which I shall show you in another video, but that would tuck behind there quite nicely. So there we go. So that's the belly band. So now we're going to do the pocket. So I've got a piece of this. This is also from the kit. And what I love about this mask is it's perfect. Perfect for this shape here. It was like it was made to go together. So gonna make this ever so slightly different than the other one. So first of all, I'm gonna cut it in half. So just take half a sheet off there. And what I did before was I cut a square, and I'm still gonna kind of do that. So we'll square that up. So this is like 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, not quite 6 by 6. And then what I did was I scored it in half. Now I actually want the lip to come up, so I'm not going to score it all the way in half. So I'm going to go from the top. Oh no, first of all, I need a lip. So we'll go and take a 1/2 inch around these two sides. So score in a 1/2 inch around these two sides so that the pocket goes all the way into the end. So we're going to go from this top corner to about 1 inch up. So it's got a little bit of a lip. And then that's going to fold over, and then that's going to get glued down. So it's kind of like got a reinforcement there on the pocket. So then we want to come in, we will stick with that 1/2 inch here to have that end fold over. And that's going to be our pocket there. So anything going in there is sort of stopped, whereas the other one is everything's sort of falling out. So do a little bit of trimming. So we'll trim that there. Well, trim off that corner there. Well, trim off this corner here. And then we'll trim off that. So that's going to go in, that's going to go over. Yeah, super duper. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to burnish those lines so they're nice and crisp. So you can kind of see there what I've done. I know some people, I don't know if you're like me, I often take screenshots to sort of say, oh yeah, I can see that. You could do this with a book page. You could always do it with double-sided things. But that's our pocket. And if we bring in our page there, that sort of will nicely sit there in the corner. And now anything that goes in there is not going to sort of fall out. Okay, so we need to glue this bit down. So I might do a little bit of glue stick, because it's quite a big surface. I quite like a bit of glue stick on it so we don't get any air bubbles. So I like to go all the way over it like so. And then I'm going to add my colour, which will add a little bit of strength. So it'll be a nice strong pocket. That's why my end gets sort of gungy, because I go over the glue stick and it sometimes picks a bit of it up. But it's okay. This is my Sugar Bell bottle I got for Christmas. I was so excited. It was like, I think my son bought it. I mean, it was on my wish list, and he was like, are you getting into cakes now as well? I was like, no, it's for glue, darling. It's for glue. And he went, I couldn't understand why it was on your list, because you don't eat cake. So I didn't understand why you would make cake. So, right now, it is for glue. There we are. Mop that up. Oh, don't want to mop that up. It's not actually my mopping up cloth. That is a tissue, which is a bit rubbish. So I'm better off with this. That glue oozed, and we want to make sure it's off. Otherwise, everything that you put in the pocket will stick. And that wouldn't be good, would it? Right, I'll get rid of that now. Throw that in the bin. There we are. That is super duper poop scooper. There we go. So then we just want to put glue on the insides of these to glue it there. But of course, can I put a little bit of ink around it? Couldn't decide there if I just felt a little bit of wet ink or not. Just been outside. It's snowing here, which is amazing because we don't get snow very often. And for all being in the north, we're right near the North Sea, so I don't know if it blows it away, but we just don't get it very often that settles. And I've been taking some lovely pictures, putting them on my Facebook of the snow. So lots of people have been sharing pictures of the snow, and we didn't have any, so we were feeling a little bit left out, which is not unusual. As I say, we don't normally get it, but we got some now. But we were going to Sainsbury's. I was going to get some of the lovely spring paper doilies that they've got, but car wouldn't start. So poor old Ed, he de-iced the car. Took him I don't know how long to get all the snow off, and then sat in the car and it wouldn't turn over. So then he decided to try mine. Mine's an old banger. It was like, mine's not going to start. And he went, yours always starts. Yeah. I said, no, it doesn't like the snow. It will start in cold and it will start in the wet. But my car really doesn't like snow. And, yeah. He said, well, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, come out. And, yeah, he was back. It was nice that he had that confidence in my car. So he's gonna have another go tomorrow. I said I can wait till next week until the snow's gone for these napkins. But we are actually going to go and see if they've got any nice food for Valentine's Day for our dinner. We do like to buy some nice food that doesn't need a lot of prep, so that we can have a nice dinner without working too hard on it. So that is our little pocket, and I say it does take a minute to dry, does colour. So that's that. Of course, we don't want it just like that. I want to add our other bit to it. Now I've prepared lots. So the other one has got this postcard on it, which is quite cool, and it does go with that little postcard there. So I could do it the same, or I could use one of these. I quite fancied that. I thought that was quite nice. That one's a bit boring. That one I think is maybe a bit too fancy, although it's got the red in it like that. It is quite cool. These have all been backed onto tea-dyed paper. That's quite nice. I think we're going for that. I think I'm going to go for that one. I like the shape of it. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to stick it around that side, and then just a little bit up here. So it is a little bit of a pocket for putting like a, what do we call them? Cabinet card. That's what I mean. Don't think I've got one made, but that's what I thought we'd put in there. So I'm just going to go around here like so. Really haven't done that very well at all. Going to get a bit of card to spread it a bit so it doesn't ooze out the end. So rubbish thin bead that, but there you go. So I'm going to put it about there. Yeah, just checking that the glue went up there because that would glue it down. Just put it across there actually, and I'm thinking, oh, a little bit. Can I pull it off a little bit? Put a bit of that underneath. Put a bit of that underneath. Getting a right old mess. Love it. Right. There we go. Now it's not straight. Go up a little bit. There we go. There. Yeah, that finishes it off, doesn't it? So we're sort of copying that over there. Like it. Like it a lot. Right. And then it's just a matter of putting in sort of tags and things. So I've got loads of tags, haven't I? Absolutely loads. Bring them in, bring them in. So that's not quite a cabinet card, that's like a postcard, but that's the sort of things that I want something smaller, so I don't want that in there. But I could put one of these big ones in there. That's quite nice, quite like that. What else have I made that I could put in there? That kind of goes with it, doesn't it? Not that colour. Oh, she's nice, isn't she? Bit more bluey. Go for the pinky. That's the same colour there. So maybe we can then put the postcard of this woman behind there to sort of break it up a bit. So, there. That's that. I might change those tags. Made those the other day. Quite liked that. Yes, these tags are not necessarily set in stone. Matter of fact, I don't like the fact that they're two the same. I'll put that one in. That's an Artymaze. Oh, it's the same as that. So that either don't like it or it brings it together. So there we go. So you can see the difference of that pocket there. Just saying it all falls out. Whereas on that one, that's held in place. So I might put a stopper of some sort on there to stop them falling out. But that's what I was meaning. It needs something like a cabinet card in there. I like that one's got. Okay. So I hope you like that. I will bring you this tutorial. That's an altered, lots of people doing altered cards. sort of an altered card. I did it in 2 different ways. And yeah, so I've gone through, I've got post-its there so that I know what we're doing on this, and there's not very much left to be done. And then we'll be making the covers, and then they'll be ready to sell. Gosh, not sure that anybody would want to buy one of these things, but I thought I'd make them and see what happens. Okay, so if you pop over to my blog, I'll have some photos for you to check out, and maybe a little bit more instructions on that, although I think the video shows it better, but maybe put some measurements for people who like to follow measurements like me. Okay, so yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, come and watch me. I do junk journals Wednesdays and Saturdays, and I do Stampin' Up videos on Sundays, Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay, see you again soon. Bye.